Hey, this is Chris Allingham with Weber Bulletin. This video accompanies the article I published called Burn Test, 1984 Kingsford versus 2020 Kingsford. You'll have to read the article to get most of the details about this burn test. There are a lot of photos, a lot of statistics and percentages that I published in that article that you'll have to read all about it in order to get the gist of what happened. I can tell you generally that the new Kingsford lit faster than the 1984 version. The old 1984 version did seem to burn a little bit longer than the new version, and there were some significant differences in the ashes that were created by each. They both created about the same amount of ash by weight, but the new Kingsford produced more ash in terms of its volume. So that's kind of a thumbnail result from this burn test. But I'd encourage you to read the article and get all the details. I wanted to just share with you a couple of things in this video. First of all, how did I get this charcoal? It's not every day you come across a bag of 1984 Kingsford charcoal. Well, this was a partially used bag of old charcoal. It came from a member of our discussion forum at the Virtual Weber Bulletin Board. His name is Mike in Roseville, and he had a friend who bought a mid to late 1970s Weber kettle, and it came with some vintage accessories like a flower patterned grill cover, new in box side table, several unopened bags of no-name off-brand charcoal, and this partially used bag of 1984 Kingsford. And the friend offered all this charcoal to Mike. Mike knew that I did burn tests on the Virtual Weber Bullet website about Kingsford charcoal, and he thought it might be a kick to see if I wanted to use that old 1984 charcoal to do a burn test against current day charcoal. So he offered it to me, and I accepted that, and we did the transfer of that charcoal in 2019, and it took me frankly over a year to get around to doing it due to my busy schedule and my procrastination and my just to be honest, laziness. But I finally got around to doing it here in June, July of 2020. Now, the one thing I want to show you in the video that I can't demonstrate to you in a written article is that I wanted to do a time-lapsed version on video of the burn cycle of both these charcoals side by side. So I set my smartphone up on a tripod with a very high angle above and off to the side of the charcoal. I lit off the charcoal and I captured about 13 minutes of video. The problem was that after 13 minutes there was enough radiant heat coming off of the charcoal and the charcoal chimneys that I was burning it in that it caused the camera to go into an error state, and it turned off, and it wouldn't come back on until I let the camera cool off. I'd never seen that before on my smartphone. Maybe you've seen it before if you set your smartphone like on the dashboard of your car or something crazy like that, but never happened to me. So I didn't get the full 80 minutes of video I'd hoped to get. I only got 13, but I do want to show it to you here. I've fast forwarded this. You'll see the charcoal is lit, and then it'll fast forward. 13 minutes of video is compressed into about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm going to roll that video now and you can check it out. Here we go. Okay, so here's my setup. I have two Weber chimney starters. This one's filled with 50 of the old Kingsford briquettes. This one has 50 of the new Kingsford briquettes. Underneath the chimney starter, I have one Weber fire starter cube that I'll use to light the charcoal. It's sitting on top of a kettle cooking grate. Under that is a foil pan that will catch all the ashes. So at the end, we'll remove the remnant of the fire starter cube. We'll weigh the ashes. We'll be able to compare the two and see which one produces more ash, the old or the new. So, kind of interesting, huh? A couple of closing comments. You probably noticed that the 1984 Kingsford produced a bit more smoke when it was lighting up than did the 2020 Kingsford. You surely noticed that the 2020 Kingsford lit a lot faster than the 1984 Kingsford. That probably makes sense because Kingsford has made lots of changes over the last decade to the formula and the shape of their briquettes. Putting all those grooves on the briquettes really helps them light a lot faster. To my eye, it looked like the 2020 Kingsford was ready to be dumped out and cooked on at about the 7-minute mark, whereas the 1984 Kingsford was more about the 10-minute mark or so. We should make clear, of course, that you can't draw too many conclusions from what we're doing here. This is all for fun, and we're just making some visual observations of the differences between these charcoals. The measurement of ash is a bit more objective, but remember, we are burning very old 36-year-old charcoal and comparing it to a brand new product. I have no idea how charcoal ages over time, whether it loses certain volatile compounds or certain properties that help it burn better. We do know that charcoal absorbs moisture over time, which makes it harder to light, but this charcoal came from Northern California. We don't have very high humidity and high rainfall here. It was stored in a dry location all these years, so it's probably in about the best shape it could be in. But again, we're not making any definitive statements here, really. We're just trying to have some fun to see how old stuff that's hard to find compares to brand new charcoal off the shelf. One question you may have is, why only 50 briquettes? Why didn't you fill up the chimney starter all the way? Problem was that the bag of 1984 charcoal contained a lot of broken pieces and a lot of charcoal dust. I like to burn full briquettes in a burn test, and I was able to salvage 50 from the bag, and that's why we ended up with 50 briquettes of each type in this burn test. Well, that concludes this video. I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate you very much. Please like and subscribe to my videos. It helps other people find them. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.